Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors. From Panama City on Florida's beautiful Emerald Coast, it's Panhandle Outdoors with Captain Roy and the coach.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. We're glad you're with us today. We have a good guest. You're going to enjoy the show. You're going to wake up also to some cold weather. It's cold, it's chilly outside. Here in Panama City, it's 36 degrees. Up in Mariana, 33. Down in Apalachicola, Carabel, it's around 34 degrees. It's only going to get up to high 50s today. Tonight, it's going to be in the high 30s, maybe 38 here on the coast. So be prepared for some cold weather. It's going to be real sunny today, but it's going to be real cool. Water temperatures remain around 71 degrees. It's been there now for about 10 days. The marine forecast, a northerly wind, is going to be blowing at 10 to 20 knots, so you're not going to really get a chance to get out and do too much. So be aware of that wind and what it can do. Waves 1 to 3. It's going to be real choppy on the inland waters. If you're going to fish, you want to get up on the southern boundaries of some of these banks and then try to fish some fresh water. The river is rising. Believe it or not, the Apalachicola Blountstown is 7.6, and that's as high as it's been now since about 7 months. That's how high it has been. And the Chattahoochee River Carabel is almost identical, 7.8. So they're both rising, and they've been. We've had a lot of rain, and it sort of pushed them up. So be ready to. As soon as that starts dropping, a lot of guys like to put those bush hooks in, and especially this time of year, and try to catch some of those catfish. Tides, and here in Panama City, the tide is low right now. Look on the 20th of November. Look at that, folks. We got a strong tide. It's low this morning at 6:42, and it's coming in all day, and it's going to be high tonight at 8:39. And it's going to be, look at the whole week, though. You're talking about some good fishing if you like to fish the tides. Remember, this is alternating weeks of the real strong tides. You're going on into Thanksgiving, Friday after Thanksgiving and Saturday after Thanksgiving. You're going to have some really strong tides. You're going to have low and midday. So if you like to fish the tides, it's a great week to do that. St. Joe tides are within about 15 minutes of the Panama City tide, so be aware of that. So that takes care of our weather. We're going to come back with our guest. Welcome back, folks. I'm sitting here with Richard Hawley.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. Captain Richard Hawley. Most people y'all know Richard. We're looking through his book, The Great St. Andrews in the Shoes of a Fisherman, and we're talking about some of the stories. Richard has written this book from his personal experiences in St. Andrew, and captain for how many years?
I grew up here on the waterfront. We worked on that book 8 years.
Okay.
And
it's a really good book. We're sitting here telling some stories of it. I'm listening to stories, and Richard's telling me one of the stories, and we're going to get right into some stories and all. We'll talk about how you can get it later, but one of the stories, Richard, is fascinating this time of year. A lot of people talk about it, about the aloha and how we lost some men on that. Let's talk about that story. I think people enjoy that.
Well, Winston, December the 15th, 1972, which was 34 years ago.
Yep.
Tony McKinney was planning a commercial trip, and they left that Friday night, never to come back. Him and 5 other men. He had Bobby Bunke was his mate, Wayne Beecham. Wayne Beecham was one of the mates. There was a veterinarian on there, Randy Phelan, and Butch Adams. Tony, if you talk to anybody, he was trying to get a crew to go up, and then a lot of people was asked to go. Those that did not go certainly probably are with us today.
Yeah.
When they didn't return to the dock, a cold front had come out that Saturday night and really hit us Sunday evening. But the rain had started ahead of the front, and Sunday afternoon about 4 o'clock the wind shifted to the north, and those boys was caught in that weather.
How big was the aloha?
Roughly about 40 feet.
Okay.
It was built here locally, good boat. I guess it'll always be a mystery. Nobody will really know what happened, but we do know for a fact that's sitting on the dock, and they left from Anderson Pier, right there where the present-day fish market is. They docked right there. There were truck batteries on the dock, which leads anybody that's been in the boating business think that they use those batteries to jumpstart the engines. And they left them on the dock. If you're familiar with engines on a boat, I'm sure their thought was once they get them cranked, the alternator will charge those batteries and they'll be all right.
Right.
That could have played a big part in them not coming back.
So they were reported missing that Sunday?
It was Monday morning when they were reported. Dr. Phelan, his secretary opened up the veterinarian shop and he was supposed to be there.
Ooh.
And he wasn't. So they called the dock and the boat had not returned, and then they notified the Coast Guard.
So y'all started looking for them right away, or did y'all have to wait a certain amount of time?
No, several boats started that day. Daryl Holman on the Redfin and Tony's uncle, Jack McKinney, and Tony's dad, Don, they started that day. Had a lot of boats hunting them. I called Captain Smavey. I was a captain on the Ocean Queen at that time, and I said, you know, if that was me, I'd want everybody I knew hunting me.
That's right.
And he was captain on the Captain Anderson number 9, and we made plans to leave the next morning at 5 o'clock to start a search for them. And fortunately, it was still blowing and kind of sloppy. We took the Gemini Queen, and Joe Ed Davis went with us. And we had planned to run off west-southwest to Panama City, and that was our plan. And sure enough, that evening we come up on a debris field.
Okay, so the front had come through and had blown everything. So y'all sort of had a good guess.
Yeah, that's right. We were figuring on the prevailing current had been coming out of the southeast, and we were thinking, because they had been searching 2 days. And where they were supposedly fishing, they wasn't finding anything. And Sigurd and I both thought that current, anything kind of submerged that was floating, the wind would not really blow it to the southern. We were thinking it probably drifted upwind, which it did. And when we found that debris field, I mean, your hopes immediately, you think, boy, if we can just find that life raft.
Yeah.
They had an 8-man life raft, and you're kind of hyped up. You're thinking you're fixing to see 8 men, or 4, in that case there was 5 men, on a life raft. And Winston, it wasn't 15 minutes after we spotted the debris field that the Coast Guard aircraft spotted the life raft, and it was about 30 miles southeast of where we were at.
Wow.
But it was light. It was above the water line, and the wind was blowing it instead of the current.
That's amazing, isn't it? So it wasn't like in the movies where you see that life raft and everybody's waving and all. I know your hopes were up and all.
Yeah, but you know, 15 minutes of glory there that we thought we'd find them, and then our bubble was busted.
So we, in wrapping it up, we never did find anything.
No remains of any bodies was ever found. I think the Florida statutes require that if somebody's missing, you can't collect insurance unless you have a identification, and there is a waiting period of 7 years.
Yeah. So what did Coast Guard end up concluding on that, Richard?
I have the newspaper article from that the Coast Guard in the book.
Okay.
It was, you know, over the years, they think that they have found the reels. You know, everybody fishing. And they pulled up a few reels and took them over to Tony's father's house, and he said those was indeed the reels that he had. So
the boat just sort of broke apart after in the wave?
According to the debris field, we were finding parts of the doors to the head, and we did find the fish boxes. They had a top on them, plus they had over that to insulate the fish, big aprons that were tied down.
Yeah.
And we pulled those aprons off and looked at the fish. Their eyes were just as clear as they wasn't.
They were fresh.
They were fresh. So we felt like it happened Sunday.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. We're sitting here chatting with Richard Hawley, one of the stories out of his book, The Great St. Andrews in the Shoes of a Fisherman. We're talking about about 34 years ago, the Aloha, with a lot of local guys in it. 5 local guys? and,
Yes,
on a fishing trip, and they all perished. In conclusion, now we're talking about. You think the waves got so high, and they just probably lost control of the boat? Your
More than
speculation?
likely, that's the idea that they had those batteries on the dock. They were probably laying on anchor for the night, and with the sea conditions like they were, Sunday night, at that particular time of the year, I was involved in a Christmas play, and I had a Santa Claus suit on.
I'd like to see that.
And after the play, I walked out the back door of the church, and the wind was blowing so hard, beard, cap, and everything just blowed off. And my thought right then was, boy, I hope those guys have made it in.
Yep.
So the sea conditions would have been probably running at least 8 to 12 foot, the 30 knot winds. If that boat was laying on anchor, and if the anchor broke loose, and if you couldn't start the engines, you were at the mercy of the sea.
So you're in that trough, right?
If you were on anchor and everything was fine, but if it broke loose and she got sideways, it could have easily taken on a wave off the stern. And
So y'all had a big search and rescue party going, and that's something, folks, it's sort of leading into what we're doing Wednesday, on the show Wednesday. We're going to have some folks here talking about search and rescue and how you can join and all. So y'all looked for a couple of days and found them.
yes, there was a search going on for at least 3 days, but we found that first day we went out, we just
Found them. Good guess, and just from experience of being on the water all your life.
hopefully
You know, those guys are just like the typical Panhandle guys. We have so many outdoorsmen in the Panhandle, and of course that's why we like that. So good, this show is so good to so many people. They love to watch it. And I was chatting, went by Bluntstown the other day, chatting with some guys over in Bluntstown that are typical outdoorsmen, and I said, I want to take a video. They're sitting in the back of a barber shop there, and it just goes to show you, we go to 9 counties, and I can promise you all 9 counties are just full of men like this that love to hunt and fish. So I'm just going to introduce three guys from Bluntstown in the back of the barber shop, okay? Sue, if you'll run that video. I'm in the back of a barber shop on the outskirts of Bluntstown with a couple of fellows, or 3 guys that have been in education a long time. I've known them for a good while. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and sort of tell what they enjoy in outdoors and maybe what they're going to be thankful for this Thanksgiving.
I'm Ellis Nichols, and I retired 2 weeks ago after 40 years with the Calhoun County School System. I've coached and taught school in Calhoun County for 40 years. We've had some success and some lean years and so forth, but we enjoy hunting and fishing in the outdoors. Looking forward to the retirement 2 weeks ago, looking forward to a good hunt season.
Okay, that's a good job, Ellis. I forgot about all those days. Ronnie Hand?
I'm Ronnie Hand. I'm principal at Alpha School, and I used to be at Bluntstown High School. Used to be Greg's boss. He kept me straight. I worked on him a little bit, but I enjoy hunting and fishing, and I've been in education. I had 2 careers, one in construction and one in education, and education was sandwiched the construction years. So I really enjoy the outdoors. Grew up outdoors. Grew up out here at Clarksville, trying to keep Ellis Nichols straight.
And I'm Jimmy Cox. I retired with 33 years with the Calhoun County School System. The last 15 years was principal out at Carr Elementary School in Clarksville. And like these other 2, enjoy hunting and fishing, and look forward to a good hunting season this year.
Welcome back to Panhandle Outdoors, folks. We appreciate you watching. Again, the weather's cold this morning, so you're going to wrap those kids up and all before they go off to school. And be aware, we've got a north wind. And sitting here chatting with Richard Holly, captain for forever out down in St. Andrew, grew up around the water. And most of y'all know Richard's written a book, The Great St. Andrews in the Shoes of a Fisherman. And we're just talking about a couple of stories out of it. Richard, where can they find this book?
right now the book, because of Christmas coming and Christmas presents, if you were buying a Christmas present, you can get this book at Shares Hallmark.
Okay.
The one on the beach by Publix, or the one on Highway 77 in Lynn Haven. Books by the Sea, Something Blue, Uncle Ernie's in St. Andrews, Panama City Marina Gift Shop. Then we got some book signings coming up in December. We're having a big one at the St. Andrews School
Okay.
on December the 16th from 1 to 5, and Dalton Bookstore on December the 10th, and Shares Hallmark on December the 9th.
Well, you're going to have a busy December then, aren't you?
Hopefully.
Richard, I was looking at a video earlier about those guys up in Bluntstown, and those guys love to hunt. We were talking about that's over 100 years of education, and those guys love to hunt and fish up there. And I promise you, every county we cover, we have the same kind of guys that and enjoy watching this show and all. And I want to talk about real quick about what's coming up this week, and then we'll get back with Richard. Of course, tomorrow now, Captain Roy will be here with Ronnie and Groom. They're going to talk a lot about the hunting situation. I've already got some good reports of a couple of deer being killed. Wednesday, we're going to talk about the search and rescue missions and how we can be a member of it and how to set up things. But Thursday, on Thanksgiving morning, Lee Sullivan stepped out. I was going to give him a hard time. Lee Sullivan's not going to be here Thursday morning, but Panhandle Outdoors is going to be here live. And we're going to have one camera, and we're going to be rolling. But I spent about 2 weeks. We got a good Thanksgiving show lined up. I've gone around different parts of the viewing area and talked to people about what they're thankful for. And I think you're really going to enjoy Thursday morning show and also Friday morning show. So be tuned here, and we're not going to wimp out like Lee's going to do, but we're going to be here live. So getting back to fishing, that was a tragic story we talked about Aloha, but there's so many good stories in here about catching all those big fish in those days.
Well, sure. I mean, those are days that are gone and won't ever be here again. But yeah, I like to mention those guys that you had on. I know Hub Chasen.
Yeah.
Those guys would know him. He was an educator at Clarksville, and his wife was at Alpha. A wonderful outdoorsman. Good Christian man, and somebody I looked up to, Hub Chasen.
Well, our whole viewing area is just full of people like that. And I run into them on occasion in different places, and we're going to try to just visit different counties and all. But I can promise you, the Panhandle outdoorsman is a special breed with the fishing along here along the coast, and then hunting up there in the inland and all. It's a special breed of people. I love them.
Yeah, they're wonderful people. You're talking about catching big fish. You know, every day you left the dock back then, you didn't have the technology you have now, GPS and the color machines. You were going off the seat of your pants. You had an idea where you're going. But you know, in the back of your mind, you always had that feeling that you're going to find the mother lode. And you did a lot. I mean, fish would be up in the water, and you was a free spirit. It's unbelievable the amount of fish we'd catch.
Now, back then, when y'all bottom fish, what was the main bait y'all used?
Skipjack is something you still have skipjack, ladyfish. That was our prime bait. You had to split them, salt them, let them get hard from the salt and brine, and we used a lot of those. When fish are rallying, you don't have to grab the best bait. You just put a bait down there and they're going to bite it.
We call that a rally.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this before a lot of times, and people, I've never seen it, but I've heard guys like you talk about it time and time again. A lot of times there's red snapper sometimes. They'll come up almost to the surface, and you can see them out there. And I've had people say I could fly fish for them. You remember those days?
I can remember many a trip where you just dropped your line 3 or 4 foot underwater, and if a 4-pounder come up to get it, you jerked it away because you wanted to catch that 12-pounder over there. And you could just see them swimming around. Not every day that happened, but it did happen. Sure.
And the grouper, they were just such a large grouper and all.
I can remember that one of the favorite diving spots down off Phillips Inlet down off Seagrove, really they call it the Pyramids. Daddy and Chubby Destin, when I was growing up, they were one of the two that could find that spot. But I can remember pulling up a pair on a hand line of copperbellies, grouper, right in there on the beach. Copperbelly weighing about 40 pounds each.
Tell the folks, speaking of your dad, I wanted to mention that about how, he fished in Magic City.
Yes.
Over there by where the bridge is.
Old Hathaway Bridge.
Old Hathaway Bridge. And
Baywood Park.
And you ran into some people who used to fish with him not too long.
Oh, sure I did. Yeah, I was at the Nature Gallery at the St. Andrews State Park with the booth set up selling the book. And this guy was looking through it. And he said, this is the Magic City that used to dock at Baywood Park. And he said, the captain was A.R. Hawley. Are you any kin to him? And I said, that was my father. And he said, when I was just a teenager, they would come down from Georgia. And he said, I remember fishing with your dad.
Man. That's fascinating. So many of those people did. Tell folks, we have a minute or two left, how your dad would find his fish in those days before we had all these fancy GPSs and all.
Probably over 75% of the time they fished down the beach off Phillips Inlet, and if he found a spot, you had to have good eyes.
Do you remember a place called the May House out there?
Yeah, right. That cabin's still there, by the way.
Yes, it is. They're good friends of our family. Used to have had their own water tank, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I know those folks.
I called it the PT boat house because when you was off the beach about 4 miles, it had with the roof, it looked like a PT boat to me. But it was old May's cottage.
So
And years later, they moved it just a few feet, and that was enough to mess up your range. Daddy would triangulate on. That's how he found those spots. And you know, if you got a triangle and you got 2 points, a third spot is going to be the same every day. And he could locate again.
That had been some exciting days. You deckhand for your dad a good
Sure
bit?
did. Yeah. Grew up under my dad.
Folks, if you want to read some of those stories and all, and those days are gone. We don't have them anymore, and that's why, you know, I captured some of them in the book, and you captured a lot in your book. Those people love those stories, and I want to encourage you to get those books and enjoy those stories that come from first-hand account. We're going to wrap things up. Again, I'm going to tell you all about this week's show. We will be here Thursday morning live, unlike Lee Sullivan, who's sitting. I think Lee's going to be. Are you going to be on live Thursday morning?
Where you go now?
Okay.
The weatherman.
We're not going there. But folks, this week we got some good shows lined up. Captain Roy will be back tomorrow, and again, search and rescue on Wednesday, and some good interviews, and you're going to really enjoy Thursday's show. Richard, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
It. Thanks for letting me be here.
It's a good book. It has some really good stories in it, and good pictures and all. I see one cover story, Richard Post.
Coach Post.
I think everybody knows him.
Everybody that comes up to the book, so that's Coach Post.
That's Coach Post.
He paddled that guy over there. I remember. I remember the day he paddled.
Did you go to school with Lee Sullivan?
Oh yeah. Lee used to wear pink tennis shoes. Pig pants and pink tennis shoes.
We always get the first word on him, but he gets the last word. Folks, stay tuned for Lee, and thank y'all for watching the show. You do a random act of kindness, and God bless you.
Join us weekdays for Panhandle Outdoors with Captain Roy and the coach, Florida's only live daily outdoor show. Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.